All right, I'm with Dennis, obviously, again. And what brings you out today? I know we've had many discussions.
We do this every week.
Yeah.
We do this every week because we love America, and we rally in the name of patriotism for love of America.
Okay.
Pretty much.
And I know we've had a lot of discussions about immigration. What do you think about the latest Supreme Court decision on birthright citizenship?
I don't agree with it, but unfortunately, that's the Supreme Court decision. And if you go by the wording, unfortunately, as much as I don't like it, the problem is, what's the definition of subject to the jurisdiction thereof? That's the gray area. But unfortunately, as much as I hate the decision, sometimes the letter of the law does not always match the spirit of the law. And so unfortunately, I think what the Supreme Court justices are doing is they are interpreting it by the letter of the law, which unfortunately you have to do. So I don't like the decision, but I understood why they made the decision as much as I disagree with them. Okay. So it's unfortunate, but the wording is the wording. And if they decide that subject to the jurisdiction of the, is what they have to say, then unfortunately you have to go with it. I understood why they decided that. And I don't want to hear any complaints. Conservative Supreme Court justices ruled in favor of it, right? Conservative Supreme Court justices ruled in favor of DACA, right? So, conservative Supreme Court justices did rule in favor of some of those things. There was one other one that just escaped my mind that they were for, So I don't want to hear about this conservative Supreme Court justices because they have made some liberal rulings.
Okay, and then obviously we've seen different agreements or memorandums of understanding with the Iran intervention. Do you have any thoughts on the newest round of agreements?
You're going to disagree with me completely. I would have just blown them into oblivion. You gotta, if you're going to do the job, you got to do it right. Countries have been complaining for decades. We need to do something about Iran. Iran, unless somebody does something, they were going to do what they were going to do because they knew they weren't going to be attacked. So they knew they can get away with what they could get away with. Trump at least tried diplomacy, and he took a lot of heat for it. He bombed them, he knocked out their military mostly, and then at least attempted diplomacy, which you liberals should have appreciated. But no matter what Trump does, it's automatically wrong 100% of the time. So he didn't think a deal was going to be made, but he at least tried. Now, if I were him, I would finish the job. I think he also miscalculated a little bit, hoping that the good Iranians that aren't the extreme Muslims would take over and restore their own government with military help. That ended up not happening. I think he was hoping that would, and so was I. But if it were me, I'd finish the job. I would flatten them into a parking lot and make them impossible to even
talking about all 90. You're talking about all 90 million?
Knock them into oblivion.
All 90 million.
They are extreme. They will use
all 90 million.
The extreme Muslims who are in charge are extreme. They will use a nuclear weapon.
But that's not all 90 million, right?
Maybe not now, but they still got the uranium, and they'll still rebuild, and they'll still try, and they will still continue to build until they're capable of it. And they will not have a nuclear weapon, period. They are that extreme. Death to America, death to Israel. What does that mean to you? Oh, it's a big so what to liberals? You gotta be kidding me. No, they mean it. They may not have the capability right this second, but when they do have the capability, whether it's tomorrow or 20 years, 50 years from now, they will use it. I'm convinced of that, and we can't let it happen. And if that means bombing them into a parking lot, then that's what it means. And I'm sorry if you disagree with that.
So then, what about North Korea? They have nuclear weapons. What about China?
Okay, well, I don't think they're going to use it like Iran. Iran will use it. A lot of countries have nuclear weapons. Have they used it? North Korea has tested it. They've tested. France even tested about 20 years ago, right? So yeah, other countries have them, but I'm not convinced they're just gonna, like that, use it because their religious ideology is not that insane, in my opinion. There are Muslims who are not insane. The people in charge of Iran are. They are that extreme, and that's why we have to go to that level. It's unfortunate, but that's just the way I feel.
Do you think the Republicans can keep the House after the midterms?
Probably not.
What about
presidents
the Senate?
Don't win midterms, and
what about the Senate?
That's a coin toss. It's a coin toss. But presidents don't win midterms. Believe it or not, the last president to win a midterm was George W. Bush, believe it or not, because of how he handled 9/11. And back then, we weren't so polarized. They may have hated his politics, but they loved America. So, Obama, wasn't he the most popular president of all time? I think in my lifetime, one of the most popular. In my opinion, he had one of the highest approval ratings. No, if you look it up, he had one of the highest approval ratings. He got thrashed both of his midterms, and he also lost a lot of seats in his re-election. In fact, I don't know the exact number, but he had a record number of members in the House of Representatives when he won in the 08 election in 09.
So
when he lost his last one, it was the numbers were opposite.
So, I mean, you don't seem too optimistic about Republicans taking back the House. Do you think people should focus on local politics, like local congressional races?
I think people have a mentality of check and balance. So even if you have Democrats in charge of the White House or the House and Senate, they just seem to have a tendency to vote opposite party down ballot as a form of check and balance. It's sort of like a mentality thinking. And it happens
Well,
to
you
both
mentioned
sides.
check and balance. Then maybe a presidential administration should consider having more central policy if the reaction is always a disastrous midterm. Is that fair to say?
No, let the people decide it. Let the people decide who's going to be in charge, who's going to be in charge of lower government, and we'll go from there. Obama was very popular. Bill Clinton was very popular.
So to clarify, do you find it beneficial to work on local elections like local congressional races?
Local elections are just as important as the highest elections, because you want to know who's going to run your own city. Now, if you're a conservative, you want conservatives to run your local town, But
so do you think?
when I talk about down ballot, I'm talking about the congressional level, not necessarily your local mayor or your local.
But you do have a local congressperson. We have Tim Kennedy.
Yeah.
So you don't find it beneficial to even try to campaign against Tim Kennedy in any
I
form?
like Dennis Hannon, and I hope you will. I'm still going to vote my ideology, my conservative opinions. I'm still going to vote for it. But America has a tendency to.
I understand what you're
That's
saying, but what I'm
saying.
asking.
So presidents don't usually win midterms, and I think it's
understand
great
what
that,
you're saying.
I'll make this point. I think it's great that a president should do what's best for the country, not what's best for trying to win a re-election. Do what's best for the country.
I understand what you're saying. So my question would be, do you find it beneficial to help with electoral politics locally, or do you find it more beneficial to stand outside here? I mean, what do you think gets more of support for your cause?
I think getting involved, the best way you know how is the most beneficial. If your way of getting involved is encouraging people to vote a certain way, then that's your way. If other people want to stand on the street corner and express their views, even the people who want to express an opposite opinion, if that's their way of doing things that are beneficial, everyone has their own way. Some people are gifted at public speaking. I'm not. But so maybe I won't run for office because I'm not good at getting my point across through public speaking. Other people are, and maybe they can get their points across. So it all depends on the individual, what you think is the best way to go
I mean,
forward.
do you think the Republicans have any strong candidates locally?
Well, I think Dennis Hannon is an excellent candidate, but he's unknown. So is he a strong candidate in terms of what he believes in? Yes. Does he get television coverage, and does he get...
Well, besides Dennis, do you think
way?
locally there are strong Republican voices that can run for office as a quality candidate?
I certainly hope so, but whether or not we can get our message across, I don't know. There's an old saying, which might be kind of related. Democrats are great marketers for bad ideas, and Republicans are bad marketers for good ideas.
I understand what you're saying.
And
There's a strategy of messaging. What I would ask, and what I've criticized the Democratic Party for locally, is there's not competitive races, especially in Democratic strongholds. So my question would be, why don't Republicans have many primaries locally? And my question would be, is that because of not as many quality candidates?
I don't know the answer to that question, to be honest with you. It's a good question to look into, but it's hard to say. It could be both. It could be neither.
All right, and then obviously the last time we were here, there was a situation that happened over there. Pete was upset that I had said that he pushed somebody. So obviously I
didn't see what happened.
I understand. I apologize for that. If he didn't push him, I have no idea. I had mismanaged
I
it.
didn't see anything.
Yeah.
You didn't see anything.
Yeah, so I made a
no.
mistake, and
So
I
if-
apologize.
So
So
are you gonna air that part when you release it? Are you gonna
yeah, that I apologize. Yeah, this whole thing's being recorded, so you know how we do. All right, Dennis, thank you for your time. You have a wonderful week.